ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Hello. I think we are live now.
Take number 3.
Right, take number 3.
Okay, I don't know if you want to wait.
Yeah, I think it's working now. Yes.
Yeah, I see the video on the screen. Okay. All right. Maybe a quick recap what happened.
Right. So, yes, we will not be entertaining lagging issues anymore. Enough
Hopefully.
trouble with that. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for letting us know. Yeah, but if you still see some issues, let us know as we try to fix these issues.
Yes.
Okay, so are we on the live? You also sent me chess.com link. Let me also open. By the way, sometimes I might look like I'm looking outside, but I have multiple monitors. So sometimes I'll be looking at the other monitor, so then I might be pointing towards other side, but I'm still there here.
Yes.
Okay, looks like Nitin Babu's position, the moves that we were analyzing. Surprisingly, Nitin Babu did not play F4. Instead, he went for pawn takes pawn into E4.
Okay. Let me
I
just.
think that's a mistake. I think that's a mistake.
Yes, definitely. Like we said, when the rook has already gone to the open file, why?
Open the file, exactly. Yeah. Maybe he thought with two bishops, it's good to open the position. So that way, I think logically it wasn't that bad, but yeah, obviously the e5 pawn, I don't know if he can even solve it. I think he might lose the pawn or it might become weak. And I think at max, black might have compensation. Or is there anything? Maybe white also missed something. Did he have to play rook e4? Maybe he could have just moved his knight and took the pawn on e4 with. Ah, no, that's not possible. Okay. Can you go move back?
Yeah, sorry, which move are you talking about?
One move back. Here, okay, no, here you cannot play knight d2. Knight d3 comes. Okay, so knight e4, knight e4. Was there an interesting move with knight e5?
Oh, okay. So knight takes e5. Interesting. I guess it is working.
Yeah. Maybe this is the move that both the players missed.
Right. This is clear pawn up for white. Sorry.
Yeah, that was nice tactics. I think if the king is in the center, you should always be looking for some tactics. How you can open the position. I think knight e5 was a very nice tactical blow that both the players missed. Obviously, it's much easier to comment, but I think, yeah, with some thought, probably it wasn't that hard, at least for someone like Nitin who's close to 2300.
Mm.
But okay, I think white missed. It's also, they say it's a hand move because when you have played e4, you would have thought about all this that, okay, it takes. You would have had it in your mind that, okay, I'm going to take rook into e4, I'm going to play with e5 weakness. So a lot of times what happens, we do not make an extra effort to think on that position.
Right.
We
No,
call
it
it
is
as
directly
free move.
moved. Right.
Hmm.
No, but I'm wondering why the engine is showing that this is still an equal position. What could be the answer for black?
Bishop f5. No, that doesn't work.
Maybe that is the answer because we don't want to exchange this bishop for the knight. So let's just play bishop f5, and if he
But
takes,
are you not losing the piece? No, we're not losing the
we are
piece.
not losing a piece. But you cannot long castle because of knight f7. The problem is we don't. Black doesn't have any good place to go because the knight is going to jump into d7. If the bishop could be saved, I guess then this was a fine
Can we
variation.
play? No, can we play knight d7 bishop into b2? I think we can.
Interesting. Yes, maybe.
Yeah, watch out for intermediate moves.
Yes, that seems to be the key here in this game.
Yeah, and that's what it makes the Persian equal, I think.
Right.
Yeah, very interesting question. A lot of tactical ideas, and yeah, I think we should not forget check capture threat and yeah, here 95. I think it was definitely a tough move to see. If White knew that there's some tactics happening in this question, I'm sure he would have found 95. But yeah, I think just playing rook into e4 was so obvious that White did not look for alternatives,
Right.
right? But yeah, I think with king in the center like this, you might want to explore such options to see if there are more tactical options. And this was
Mhm.
definitely, I think, informative and instructive. Move.
Can black castle here simply?
Rook e4. Yeah,
And
that's
after
also
before
possible.
bishop
Then,
f5.
yeah,
I think at least some compensation for the pawn.
definitely. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's go to the live board. So after it takes bishop f5, rook e3 was played.
I mean, I'm surprised that black is 0.7. What do we have here? Um, Maybe rook e8. Yeah, maybe rook e8 is looking dangerous for white. By the way, how is the stream going? Is it okay?
Yes, I guess it. So we have some comments coming.
Okay.
Yes, now well is what they're saying. Thank you. And bishop into e5. I don't know which move he is saying.
Maybe it was for knight into e5, bishop into e5. But I
Hmm.
think we discussed that rook into e4 was coming, and then yeah, I would win. We would win back the piece with one extra pawn. So I think it's good to keep the two pairs so that you at least have some compensation. And I think we also saw some interesting lines with knight d7, bishop takes b2, a lot of intermediate moves that we need to watch out for.
Yes. Right. So, like you said, maybe rook e8 is interesting. I also like the move rook to d2 immediately.
Hmm. Yeah, I
But
think rook to d2. Yeah,
right, since the pawn has gone, I think black's bishops will start showing their power.
yeah. So maybe it wasn't that bad practically to play f takes e4. If not for that knight e5, I think f takes e4 was a good decision to open up the position.
Definitely. Also, matter of preferences, right? I would
Right,
definitely like to play f4, a semi-close position.
right, yeah.
Okay, let's look at the other games happening.
Hmm.
Vikram Singh's game has already gone to endgame.
If I say, okay, 2 pawns up, is it right to play?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
So
so then it's clearly winning. But maybe we can quickly
look at
glance through the game to see how did that happen. Nimzov, okay. Oh, Catalan.
Kaplan. Yes.
Okay, looks equal, but I think it was a case of stronger playing, outplaying.
No, I think this is still in theory, and a knight d5 was the mistake.
Okay.
Yes. So I was playing. I was trying preparing this with black, and there is a very complex line here, which
Okay.
yes, and at knight d5 is definitely not the move. You can see that white's advantage is just increasing, right? The main problem
Yeah.
is black's development has not completed yet, and already white is putting lots of threats.
But he's also winning a pawn, isn't he?
Right. He has already equalized the material, but the c4 pawn, which usually is what he gains back, is going to be the extra pawn now. And
Yeah, I
if you are,
think here it was. I mean, White didn't do anything. I felt he just played the natural moves, won an extra pawn, and the game.
and that is because of the opening, I would say. This
Right.
line, black has to know the theory, otherwise he's going to end up in huge
Mhm.
trouble.
Yeah, here I think it's a matter of technique. But yeah, I can imagine the technique need not be that high. It can be easy win. I think the only thing should White be careful of exchanging the knights. I mean, even then, I think it should be close to winning,
Mm-hmm.
even with opposite color.
Mm.
You
Yes.
think maybe let's just, I mean, just to discuss if you're just removing the two knights, what do you think? Can White still win this?
Uh, I guess it's going to be more difficult.
Yeah, obviously. Hmm.
Yeah, but if A2 pawn is still alive, I guess there are chances.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, assuming White keeps the A2
Mm.
pawn. Um, I think it should be possible because White has a chance to create passed pawns on both the sides.
Right.
And if two sides, it might be difficult. But yeah, I think it also depends. Like if the A pawn is the remaining pawn, then it could be that it's a wrong colored
Mm.
bishop. But okay, I mean, we are just going too much hypothetical situation. I'm sure that Vikramjit won't be exchanging the knights to make his life difficult to win.
Mm.
So do you want to go to the next game?
Yes, there are comments coming about rook d1 check and knight into c6. Uh,
Okay.
I, yeah, I'm not sure when he's talking about knight into c6 because there was no chance about that. Okay, let's go
Are
to
you
the.
sh are you sure you're on the, why do I see in the YouTube still the old game,
I
like
think
the
there is
game of Nitin
slight
Babu?
delay. There should be slight delay.
Slight delay, yes, but I mean we have been discussing this game now for a while, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure who is getting confused here.
Because if you see the live stream, I still see Nitin Babu's game. I don't think the delay is so huge that it's 5-10 minutes. We have been discussing this game for now close to 5 minutes, right?
No, but I'm also having it open, and have you clicked the live button? Because
Ah, maybe yes, yes, exactly. Sorry, my bad. I
yes.
was behind on the YouTube, not on the.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Sorry for confusing.
Right. So let's go to the third game,
Hmm.
third board of the tournament. Here, Nandakumar versus Murali Krishnan BT. I was thinking that as the games go on, the pairings will get tougher since all the players who have scored full points will face each other. But we also
Hmm.
see that the 1600 player is challenging the international master.
Yeah, I think it's probably to do with the amount of players who are also playing.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I think with less number of players, there will be less number of people on 4-on-4. But
Right.
now here I see that we still have like close to 10 people who are 4-on-4. Right? So yeah, there could be some scope of mistakes or not the perfect games.
Definitely. Okay. Let's look at the game briefly. It is still in the middle game, so we will catch some interesting actions in this game.
I think it's already an interesting opening choice. Queen's
Are you
Gambit
familiar?
accepted.
Okay.
I don't like to play such positions as black, or white for that matter, where it's like not fun and I don't know. I don't find
Right.
this positions fun.
Right.
It should be open, and there should be some thrill. Like the game of Niti Babu. That's my type of game. This is more technical and positional.
Right, right. So there is nothing exciting happening at the moment. But actually, here I really liked the opening style of white. Every pieces have harmoniously developed. But I guess not so harmonious if after knight a5 he cannot move the bishop. I was bishop d3 fine. What's happening?
I think he should have played it. I
Yes,
don't see
I don't
anything obvious.
understand the pawn structure he went
He
into.
chose. Yeah, I mean rook d8 is there, but I think after queen c2, it should be okay. And then you can get the two rooks to d1 and c1.
Right.
Looks
So
okay.
yeah,
Somebody is asking for the live
like
games link. I think it's
right.
a good idea.
Right. Let me just add the link into the.
I think you can also put to the chat.
Okay. Right. I'm going to share the link in the.
Okay, someone's asking to pin it
Right.
as well. Sure. I
Yes.
mean, it's not like we are going to have a lot of comments, I think, but yeah, not a bad idea, nevertheless.
Yes. Okay. So let's go to the game. Queen e2. You're right. I really find White's choices of moves questionable. So he first of all he went queen e2 and queen c2 again. Clearly he doesn't understand the position and where the pieces belong. So he's finding his way around.
Yeah, I think probably it's going to be an instructive game how to win if your opponent doesn't play the best, right?
Hmm.
I think the problem here for White is it's not easy to have a plan. And because of that, he's starting to make bad moves, right? Because when you don't know what to do, you need to create those moves, right? And that's when I think often people play bad. Um, I think this is the case of that White just did not have any good plan. So he's just reacting to what Black is doing.
Hmm.
So just moving the pieces around without any goal in his mind.
Is the knight trap? There is knight h4, and that is the only way it can be safe.
Although there's nothing obvious for Black that shows he's winning, I'm sure he's definitely better. But yeah, I think Black still needs to show some technique to win,
Hmm.
right? And there's one threat though after knight h4. If Black is not careful and, for example, takes something like queen a5, then there is knight into g6.
Oh,
Is it? At least
yes.
it's making interesting. I mean,
I
there's no
guess
queen at 6.
before knight into g6, I think even playing h6 first is also h3. Sorry,
H3.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
But that
Is
move
this
can be made
yeah.
later as well. Black is slowly trying to expand on the king side, and I
Mhm.
guess next up we might see f5 move on the board. That would effectively stop the knight into g6 threat.
Right. Maybe just yeah, bishop e6. Did you say bishop e6?
No, I was thinking of f5.
F5. Yeah, f5 is even better. Right.
Bishop e6 also makes sense actually. So the queen can swing to the king side. So after,
I'll just turn off the video for a second. Okay.
yeah, yeah, no problem. So this is the live position, and already the games have gone 2 hours into play. So people are having less than 40 minutes on the clock each. This
Hmm.
was Nandakumar versus Murali Krishnan BT. Let's go to the fourth board where Arjun Tiwari uh, is facing Pra- Pranav AJ.
This looks like an exciting game.
Right, so it's apparently nearing the end.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like that, but I can't find anything obvious.
Uh, yes, so I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, so maybe you can find why it's winning for black.
Okay, sure. Yeah. All right, guys. So, oh, maybe it's a queen h1 and e4 is weak. Okay, well, but their queen is also hanging. Let's see. So first of all, let's see. So how, I mean, usually what I prefer when I first see a Persian is to do a quick evaluation, right? And what are some of the points to consider when you're evaluating a position? I think the first thing is the material. So here, if you think about the material, it's 3 6 pawns against 6. So the material is equal. I think the second most, or probably even the first most factor is also the king safety. And here, black is definitely doing much better in king safety. White king is really weak on f1, and yeah, the e4 pawn is also quite weak. So tactics like rook e4, things like that can also come even if the white king is escaping. I think in terms of piece quality, probably black is again slightly better. So yeah, looks like black is better. So yeah, queen h1 was one of the moves that I was thinking. King e2. If nothing else, I think black can just take the e4 pawn with the queen. His one pawn and probably one more.
Right.
But maybe there's something better. I'm not convinced with queen e4.
But I guess after queen g2, there will be king d2 escaping and also supporting the e4 pawn.
Right. Maybe queen e4 is the best that we have. Yeah, I think
Since
it's also important that you're not sticking to the only advantage, right? You should also be having the ability to convert the advantage from one form to another. I think maybe this is just the case of that. Where,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, white king is weak, black is winning. It looks like you can checkmate, but if there is no checkmate, then don't try too hard. At least convert that advantage to winning some material. Maybe that is what black needs to do here. Let's see.
Right. So, um, this if black does play his cards right, he might create an upset on the board because he is facing the higher rated Arjun Tiwari. Pranav AJ is from Karnataka itself, so it will be.
Yeah, I've heard his name as well.
Uh,
Where is he from? In
that
Karnataka, do you
I'm
know?
not sure. Not from
Okay,
Dakshin Kannada. So,
okay. I know Advait. So he's from Bangalore, and good to see him playing as well.
nice. He does have the better position. Let's look at what's happening. So it was an e4 e5 opening. Real plus g6.
Hmm. Are we sure that it's the right way to play in the opening?
Well, usually if White's idea is to play d4,
Hmm.
so if even if it's not the right timing, it's usually a good move to play. You do
Okay.
want to open the center. H3, I think White's position is perfect for him.
Yeah.
Now he just has to find some good play
I think
because
c5, c4 is a threat now. Yeah.
exactly, yes. But it seems that b5 was a mistake. What can uh,
Maybe just f4.
right f4 and maybe knight c4 takes and the pawn structure will be bad for black.
Yeah.
Knight d5 is probably what Gets Fly Digital is saying. So yes, you can join. The tournament has already started in Mangalore, but there will also be Rapid and Blitz tournament. Rapid tournament starting today afternoon, and Blitz tournament starting tomorrow afternoon. So if you want to participate in that, you can register. Uh, there are various links available. And yes, Karthik Shetty says hi to you, Gahan.
Hi, Karthik. Yeah, nice to see you here. It was great to see him and his son playing. I think his son played really nice and Czech in Pardubice and the European tournaments. I was also hearing a lot of interesting stories from him and Shushruta. So it's never boring when Shushruta is around and a lot of international tournaments. So it was great to catch up there. Yeah, looking forward. Is he playing this tournament?
Yes, yes, he is playing this tournament.
Okay.
Okay, so actually, yes, you are right about f4 move. It is the best, and it will force black to either make a passive move with knight d7 or play knight c4 and damage his structure. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, this is not an online tournament. It's happening offline in Mangalore, so you may not be able to participate in this. But you can follow it live. There are lots of people participating from Chennai, from Tamil Nadu. We have almost 100 participants from there. Okay, so what White played was definitely not the best because he has made quite a few passive moves. And
Can black take the b2 pawn?
yes, that is what I was thinking, but I guess h6 is the reason he's not
Right.
going.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but now is White forced to take on c5?
Interesting moves.
Yeah, but I feel like after knight into b3, White will have lost a big
All
chunk
his
of.
advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next game.
Yeah. Maybe the crowd favorite or Mangalore favorite game.
Yes, Pankaj Bhatt, a Sicilian matched off with
Yeah.
bishop e2
Interesting.
and castle. I guess he is going for normal development. I'm not sure if he is following any theory because usually bishop e2, bishop e3, queen d2, something like that is more interesting.
No, but I think there are two ways to play this. White can play the classical matched off line with castling as well. But yeah, you're right. Right. I think the English attack is bishop e3, queen d2, and long castle. But I've seen a lot of players playing this as well. So this is also definitely a theory. Yeah, with knight a5. Yeah.
Okay. But I guess here White doesn't need to learn a lot of theory because
Yeah.
seems like a very straightforward way of playing. Queen b3
Who's-
looks very.
Yeah. But I mean, here's a straightaway threat, right?
Mhm.
Of course, if there is no threat, then I don't like the move queen b3. But I think here, black's knight is attacked and b7 is weak.
But after he takes the isn't b2 hanging as well?
Yeah, but with a6 going,
Right, he
I think
black
can
will be
enter.
a pawn down, but maybe black has some compensation for that.
Probably, yeah. Maybe that's what we need to check here. So 97. Are you going to play 97? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Queen.
Okay, he did not take.
Okay, you didn't take it. Okay. But just for the curiosity, so Queen B7, Rook B8, Queen A6, Rook B2.
I think this is
Uh,
very good. We can just challenge the rook, right?
yeah, exactly. So I don't
Hmm.
think black has enough compensation.
Definitely not.
So what
Okay.
did white miss or what did black miss here? After Queen B3, did black have anything better?
No, I think, see, look at the eval bar. I think this is where black has to find something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe knight f4 so that the c5 square will be available for black if
Yeah, but
white
giving
exchange.
two pawn sacrifice, I don't know. I wouldn't do that during the game.
But
Yeah, for
clearly,
example,
taking on b2
yeah,
is not good.
right. What do we have here? Can we start with knight c5? Maybe not. Or maybe we can. What do you think? Knight c5.
You want him to exchange?
Yeah, and then take the f4 square.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, black will have to find a way for his queen to come, right? Otherwise,
Exactly. The
it's
bishop
not
is
that.
going to be a bit of a hindrance. It's not a great piece. Oh, what about
Oh,
bishop?
what will be g5? Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I think bishop g5 is definitely looks interesting. Although takes and knight e4.
Knight e4, queen e2 check, queen e3, sorry.
Yeah, then b2 goes. Rook f2 has to be played and rook b2.
Okay, that should be bad for.
Yeah,
There is
but then what does white have for bishop g5?
queen into d6 is what
Mm,
comment is saying, but no, I don't think it's
yeah, the
supposed.
d2 is hanging, and if I take the d7 knight, then the e2 bishop is also hanging.
Right. So rook f2 and I guess rook into b2. Or do
Yeah,
we play knight f4 first?
yeah, this looks risky.
Mhm.
I think both moves are okay here. Black should be better.
Yes, so I guess bishop g5 is the move then.
Yeah, what can white do now? I think that's the thing with this openings like next off. Both sides have chances. I mean, personally, this is how I feel comfortable, right, to play from both the sides. Exciting chess, but yeah, obviously each people have their own style, and I think positionally also can be interesting for some. But this one
Yes.
is definitely interesting for me because you see one mistake, the eval bar, just goes up and down, and just a move back. We thought black has no compensation, and now we are in a position where we are not able to find a good move for white.
Exactly.
And yeah, engine says it's still equal. So
Yes, but
anyway, coming back to the game.
so Pankaj has decided to play it safe and did not go for the b7 pawn. But I think this setup with b6 a5 is the ideal for black, after which having a queenside break will be difficult for white.
Why
And
not a3 b4?
right, a3 b4 is usually the plan, but compared to black's plan of advancing on the king side, it will be a bit slow.
Hmm.
Um, and also, the queen on b3 is that is why I did not like it from the beginning. The usual plan is to advance on the queen side, so putting the pawn there.
I felt if he played queen b3, he had to go with queen b7. Otherwise,
Ex-
he shouldn't have played queen b3.
right, right. Okay, but right, a4 is definitely not it, right? Because a5 and black is having its ideal setup.
But now that black did not play a5, can white play a5?
But here he is threatening something, right?
Not really. Queen is supporting.
But
Maybe
this
black
is,
just takes the pawn.
yeah, maybe I'll just exchange on e3 first. Yeah, and then take on a5. I'm happy here.
Yeah. B file is also open. C5 square for black. So yeah.
And since the b4 pawn, b pawn cannot be coming to b4, knight c5 is an outpost.
Right.
Knight b3 will run into rook b8. Okay, let's go to the. I think we are okay. This should be the live position. What is happening?
Oh, very
Very nice
nice.
tactic.
Yeah.
And white is forced to take this.
Yes. The idea being, of course, rook takes bishop. You have the queen g5 check.
Yes, so white cannot take the bishop because of queen g5 check, forking the rook. So this is the live position. But look at the time difference.
Oh yeah, black. I mean, but okay, with increment, I think it should not be that hard.
Actually, yeah, it's not. I mean, if you go below 15, below 10 minutes with such a middle game position, it's not going to be enough for black in the future because this is still a middle game, and if it gets more complicated, he will definitely fumble due to time
Right.
pressure. Actually, so far, black's play has been very good. But seeing that he is 1700, he it makes sense that he took so much time to come up with so many good moves.
Right. Agreed.
Okay, let's go to the next game that we can see. So seventh board, Ranjit versus Dinesh Kumar.
Is this another next off?
Well, looks like that. Let's go from the top. Sicilian, snatched off indeed.
Yeah. Okay, another classical line.
Mm-hmm. He went for a short castle. Okay. I feel like these people have not bothered to learn theory, so they just know few setups and they go about it.
That's more like my style.
But as long as you know the ideas, it's fine, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, probably I'm not sure for opening like Nat stuff if it's sufficient. But yeah, in general, yes. I think that's also now one of the debatable topics, right? With Carlson saying there's too much theory, time to reinvent chess.
Uh-huh.
But I think in our level, chess is safe. There's still a lot to know.
Definitely. Definitely. Sometimes I'm just surprised that when learning theory, I'm just surprised how much super grandmasters will know. They might
Yeah,
like they just have to know everything in chess.
yeah. I mean, I can understand Carlson's position, but probably that's what he's not enjoying. That he needs to remember so many things, and at the end, it is kind of who has the strong computer or who has the strong team wins. But yeah, I mean, I think he's probably just bored because he has achieved everything, and now he wants a new challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The thing is, sometimes experience doesn't matter in chess. If the opponent has out prepared you, and you might just lose just because of that.
right.
So I think that only happens in chess. Actually, we already have a result on the 10th board. Anil Kumar Oti has won a very quick game.
Mhm.
What is happening here? Okay, wait. So this is the end position.
I think he's losing a piece, is it? I mean, otherwise is not materially down.
So he can
Okay.
just play rook takes e1, rook takes e1, knight takes c6.
Yeah, I mean, I think white is definitely close to winning, but is it a position to resign? I'm not sure.
He could have definitely continued on until probably all the exchanges are made. So after takes, knight takes c6, pawn takes c6. Now the problem is the bishop does not have
Yeah,
good
good
place to
square.
do. So just take and rook e7, and this passer cannot be stopped in a good way, I guess.
Yeah, also the f7 pawn is very weak.
Right. So after f7 is protected, I think some rook d7 to prevent knight d6.
And
After which
c7. Yeah.
the pawn is going to win a piece at least.
Yeah, this is definitely crushing.
Yes. So yes, I guess that makes sense.
How about the board number 8? 23 round, player close to 2400 playing.
Yes, actually, his game was very interesting yesterday. He had sacrificed two pawns and had
Mhm.
gotten a good position, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, he burns a lot of time, and in that game, he could not. He fumbled in the end when he had a winning position, so it
Okay.
ended in a draw yesterday. So, as the second seed of the tournament, he is
Mhm.
clearly the favorite. And since MD Imran from Andhra
What
Pradesh.
happened to him? I mean, he was in a good shape, 4-on-4. Why did he quit?
Yes, I think he had another tournament to go to. He requested
Okay.
to remove his name from the pairing. So,
Okay. Strange that if he had another tournament, he played just 4 rounds here, but yeah, interesting.
yes, he seems to have a liking to play open tournaments for the few rounds because he has done it a couple of times already.
Okay. It's a riskier thing to do if you think about it. Like first few rounds, you're not in your best shape,
Yes,
and you're playing with low rated, and one draw here and there, then you lose range.
exactly. But I think in these kind of tournaments, the first five until the fifth round, I think the pairings are relatively easy.
Hmm.
So, well, it looks like an attacking game for white.
Hmm.
I like knight d3 move so that maybe h3 and then f4.
I was actually thinking of h4 and g5, uh,
Well, going
but
for a
yeah,
direct attack. Makes
not
sense.
immediately. Not immediately, probably. Maybe first knight d3.
Knight d3. Yes, we don't want to double up the pawn, is it?
Maybe that's also not bad.
Hmm.
I think h4 directly is also interesting. If it was a rapid game, I would have played that without much thought. But maybe
Hmm.
for classical, it's a bit too rush.
But the problem is, black does not have any counterplay, right?
Right.
What can he do?
So
Knight
h4,
d4.
let's try h4. No, I do not like it. I was expecting it. But what? Why?
Exactly. Why? Is g5 coming?
For
Can
black?
black be so bold?
I don't think so.
The thing is, even he has pieces on the king side, right? So why not?
Right. Yeah, maybe. No.
The engine is dancing now.
Yeah. Okay, let's try to find another move. Um,
Knight h7, knight 8 h7, but then there will be rook g1.
what if you? Yeah, but if you take, yeah, what if you take and then play something like Queen d6, right? Then g5 doesn't become a threat. because
because it's
h5
knight
is
five.
we. But okay, you have f5 and then yeah, no, I don't like this. Yeah, f5 is
Can there
coming
be
and
a
then
sacrifice on g4?
yeah, maybe. No, but the engine is already saying this is good for white. So yeah, why is h4 bad?
Right. So definitely taking is not a good idea apparently. Hmm.
I mean, at least practically, h4 looks very intimidating.
Can we play knight 6 to h7 then?
Yeah, we can. But how does that give black an advantage?
Right. It's showing advantage, isn't it? I'm trying to survive as black.
Yeah.
Defense is not easy always.
No, I'm really curious. Maybe it is knight at 7 with queen e7 and trying to get the queen. Because white, one thing that is not good here for white is I think except the knight on f4, it doesn't have enough pieces. Maybe the bishop on c2, but I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe if the black queen somehow enters, it could be. Or can black do anything on the c7 h2 diagonal?
The problem is f4 is very secure, right? Even the bishop is
Yeah.
supporting this. So I don't see any breaks through that diagonal anytime soon. Knight h7 actually makes sense to me. Unfortunately, we can't play f5 because he can just capture on e6 and then therefore f5 pawn will be weak. I would definitely be worried as black though.
Yeah. I think we need to find the truth here. Why h4 is bad. What if we just ignore and play a5, for example, trying to counter attack on the other side?
Right, that makes sense. But after
Because I
that,
think, yeah.
yes, so we definitely have to check out this line because
And then I can take on f4 and play knight h5. Then you
yeah.
don't have f5.
But when you take on f4, I'll just take on f6.
Yeah. Intermediate move again.
Mm.
Yeah, but a5, I'm also having a threat.
Knight g6 is not possible because white also has a bishop eyeing this square, so it will just lose a pawn for black.
It's a good warm-up exercise for me before my tournament.
Yes, so Gahan is going to play a tournament today in his.
Yeah, in Poland. It's a local tournament, nothing fancy, but yeah, I have to rush after this comment, I think.
Uh,
Um, no, I would still go with a5. Let's see.
okay, so a5. Wow,
Yeah,
it is
not
liking
bad.
it, right?
Yeah. I think one thing that I like about a5 is that black is not trying to defend passively. He's trying to counter attack, and very often what I've seen is if you counter attack, your opponent is also forced to take a pause, not attack and defend, or look into his side, right? And
Mhm.
that might just slow down or create more weakness.
Yes,
But I think you had an interesting line, g5, but I don't know. It feels like it's a bit too much. I mean, too many pawns hanging, too many weaknesses are going to be created. Unless you can checkmate me, I don't think g5 is good.
exactly. So also you can see these pieces, right? They are eyeing the king side actually, not on the queen side. So black is more ready on the king side than white is.
Right.
So this is
Okay.
definitely a
Yeah.
game we can come back to and see. what's going to happen. So instead of h4, rook g1 was played. He's being a bit careful, so that's good for him.
But black can still play a5, I think.
But I guess now, since there is no weakness in white's king side, maybe he can play rook b1 after a5.
Mhm. Probably. Yeah. But let's say I take and play something like queen e7.
I'm happy to go b5.
Yeah. And then c5 maybe.
Ah,
So
so
it's like black is the one who is steering the game, like not
exactly.
white.
Hmm. And the preparation white has done for the kingside attack, it has come to a standstill. But I think white should not be too sad about it because it was not going to work anyway.
Yeah. I think at least he has not made a lot of weakness, right? So if it works good, if not, it's okay. No weakness is made.
Yes,
Do you want to go back to the top board?
yes, definitely. I think we have missed few games here. Ninth board, what is happening? Okay.
Triple pawns.
Oh my
Not
God,
something that you.
this
Yeah.
is the live position.
Wow.
But I think in the middle it was winning for. Let's see. So,
Wow.
well, an interesting opening choice by white. Sicilian b3 system. Okay. White is ready to fight in this game. Give me attack. What a bold move by black. How did he
Yeah.
think this is going to work?
I mean, yeah, king h8, rook g8. Maybe he wanted to open the g file for a
I guess he
counter
was
attack.
counting on knight g6 at some point. I'm not sure. A very good move, I
Well,
would say.
yeah, because if he had taken with the pawn, then yeah, knight g6 probably would come.
Mhm.
Now knight g6 makes no sense. So yeah,
Especially with the bishop on g7, why allow such triple pawns?
yeah. I mean, if black cannot quickly regroup, this is close to losing.
Yeah,
It looks like he was able to.
he was able to regroup.
Yeah,
Actually, so far White's play has been good, but I think since the e file is going to be solid for black, maybe not go for rook e1, instead rook f5 probably makes more sense.
right. Yeah, I think here white knight is definitely better than black's bishop, plus a double pawn. So yeah, it's a matter of technique, and also black has pawn on f6 and c5. So if the pawns are on the same color as the bishop, then probably the bishops are not that strong.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe he got. No, I think this is okay. One up pawn at least.
Well, suddenly the bar is going down once the knight has gone to d7. In the end game, the king always has to come right into the play.
Yeah, I think what White missed here, I think, is to play slowly. I've
Yes.
often been guilty of that as well, trying to force a win. I think White should not force a win here. He's a pawn up. He's definitely better. You don't need to be in a hurry to try and win everything immediately. Just improve the position. Like Isha said, okay, get the king. King anyway needs to come out in the end game. Just keep improving the position, right? And then the win will come. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to hurry. And I think that's again a very common mistake that happens in 1600 to 2000 level, where they're impatient, right? So they're not ready to work hard for the win. Again, it's easy to comment. I've done this mistake and I continue to do this mistake myself. But yeah, I think players like Isha, Sharan, I think they know how to convert this very well. So
Come on,
yeah,
even I'm maybe not guilty of such hurry in the end game, but I definitely have messed up a lot of good winning positions. So conversion technical play is not my best forte.
okay, yeah.
But I
Well,
think
okay, yeah.
since he has outside two outside passers here, C4 makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's see what happened in the game. And he immediately lost this important passed pawn. Yes, going for. I mean, look, this bishop and these pawns are going to blockade one of White's uh, only advantages.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? I think White should have improved the position and gone for this. And now Black is comfortable and White is trying to improve it now.
Mhm.
Always improve first and then go for the breakthrough.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, Black is getting all sorts of counter attack now.
Mhm.
There was no need to make it a race, pawn race. And now it has become a pawn race where, yeah, every move matters and one mistake from either side, I think it might be.
So now he's going for a desperate mating net. I think
Yeah,
Rook G5 is his plan.
I mean, practically, I think White is still better.
Yes.
But these are the kind of questions where it can be very concrete. You need to be very good in calculation and calculate till the end.
Mhm. I think King
Mo-
G7 probably is the only move for black. What say?
Bishop d4 kind of play.
Okay, yes, Bishop D4 also is possible.
Maybe king g7 makes more sense because why to keep the king in the corner? Also
Mhm.
avoids moves like king h6.
Yeah. Well,
I
white has
mean,
a lot of time, so maybe black might fumble in time pressure, but there is a lot less material to make mistakes here.
yeah.
Regrouping
On the
knight to
on
N6
one hand,
is
a lot
good.
of yeah, one hand, lot of less material, but I think the Persian is still very sharp.
Oh yeah,
I think I like bishop d4 more because it attacks the knight, right? And yeah, White
brings a
needs to
piece
decide
to the
now.
defense, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's go back to the first board where a lot of progress has been made. I think we left off. Let's see. Yes, after white won a pawn here, black went for rook d2. His compensation is definitely there for the pawn, and white has given up the a2 pawn.
Hmm.
He's sensing the danger and he wants to go for something concrete.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad strategy because if White had not done much, I think Black would have slowly outplayed.
Mhm.
And now, yeah, Black has to be very accurate.
Can he play rook to d2, rook d d2?
But pawn takes c6.
Why go for such risks, right? If you take
Yeah.
on c6, I will have to take back. So maybe I'll take on b5 first. C takes b5,
Pawn takes.
and now I'll go rook to d2.
Yeah. Rook c3, maybe, or rook
I
c1.
Rook c1 makes sense. Otherwise, the rook
Yeah,
will end up in. So rook c1, king b8 is forced.
looks little dangerous to me. Rook e8 is almost a checkmate.
But where will you move the knight? Actually, it's not a checkmate because I have covered the
Oh,
delay.
wait, yeah, yeah. I was thinking maybe knight f3, but yeah, you might have to go back then.
Knight f3, right? Okay, I guess then it doesn't make sense. But for knight f3, I can always play rook c2.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't like rook c1. I was thinking rook c3, but yeah, rook c3 has the problem of being independent.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to go for black. Pawn takes b5.
Yes. And on the second board,
I'm surprised White has not won the game yet.
no, the I'm going to the live board right now. A lot of
Okay.
progress has been made there. So, right.
Oh, wait. Was it forced to give the pawn?
Yes, so here he already made a mistake with knight e4, I feel, because this is where we left off, and I was thinking, right, why did he give the a2 pawn? And I thought maybe his plan was to play bishop e3 and take back the a7
But
pawn.
did White have a choice? Because I think black had g5 and f6.
Maybe, yes.
Oh, so it wasn't that straightforward as we thought initially.
Right.
So it could happen. Opposite color bishop. Okay, let's see.
Right, but at
Wow,
least here he could have played bishop e3, right? Because that would forcefully win this pawn.
a bit strange. What happened? Did he miss the fact that knight b4 can come?
Probably because I think he, in his mind, maybe black is trying to draw the game, so trying to go for opposite color bishop is what his plan is. If that
Hmm.
is what he was thinking, maybe he will find it difficult.
So maybe White anyway wins the pawn.
Okay, but white is still a pawn up, and he won another pawn.
Yeah, that should be winning.
Yeah, this should be winning, and I don't think it's any difficult.
Yeah, just go king. Oh, you can't go king f4. Okay.
We can play g4 and then exchange and then go for king f4.
Yeah, maybe. Or again, I think White doesn't have to hurry. Just play it slow. Like get the king back, king d2,
If knight b3, go king c2.
c2. Slowly push. Bishop c3, and then b4. Maybe then get the king to the other
Yes.
side. A lot of different ways. I think White can win. And I'm sure that being a 2200 player, he would win this with the 1800.
Mm-hmm. I mean, being two pawns up should be enough. I think
Yeah.
any rated player will convert this.
Okay, there's two bishops. Dream position.
Yes, how did that happen? When did he win a piece? Okay, let's see. Where did? Oh yeah, this was the game where he was fumbling around.
Yeah.
Definitely, this pawn structure was not his ideal way of playing. Okay, instead of f5, your move of bishop e6 was played.
Hmm.
H3, knight h6, king h2. I think he's stalling to see if black will go for queen to a5.
Yeah.
But no.
No, why? But what I felt in this is that yeah, White had no plan whatsoever.
Yes, it felt like he is just. Uh,
I just run at the piece as well. Okay.
yes. Okay, I think.
So an easy win here for Black.
Mhm.
Always good to see some fireworks in the position.
Yes. And okay, I think already we have two decisive games. Board 2 and board 3 are going to secure their wins very soon. And on the fourth board, we have a minus position for Arjun Tiwari.
Yeah, maybe we need to slowly wrap up, at least from my side.
Okay. So, yes, thank you so much for joining me in the stream. And
No, thank you for inviting, and yeah, I don't remember when was the last time I did this, but it was fun. Of course, initially we had some technical issues,
Yes.
um, but I think the third take was really smooth. I did not see any glitches, uh, so maybe all it needed was a reboot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good
Yeah.
going. All the best
So,
for you and the team for organizing this great and wonderful event. And I really hope to see more and more such tournaments. And yeah, I'll let you know when I'm coming next, so that you can plan a tournament like this when I'm there
yes. Yes.
in
Thank you so
Bangalore.
much. Yeah.
So yeah,
So support
that's
from
fine.
players itself is what keeps us going. So it's very nice to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. And yeah, let's see. I see Rapid as even more interesting place.
Yes, we have more title players coming today for the Rapid event, and it's going to be a huge crowd in
Are
the.
you streaming that as well?
Yes, that is the plan
Hmm.
because we will see faster paced games. So,
Yes. I think that will be more exciting for the audience to follow. Let's see. Whom do you think will win the event? Do you want to
let,
take a guess?
okay, let me just share the list in the screen. So, yeah, top seed is Nitish Belarkar from Goa. We also have a grandmaster participating, Lakshman RR, and Sanket Chakravarti from West Bengal.
Did Nitish recently win a GM norm?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, he.
Yeah, I think he's in red hot form,
Yes,
if I
so I think
recall.
after a lot of trying, he is finally increasing. His classical rating has increased as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough battle. I know Lakshman is always great in rapids, but I think off late I'm not sure if he is in a great form. But if he is, then I think he is also definitely a top contender for winning this
Yes, yes. We
event.
have a lot of players coming just for the rapid event.
For,
Actually,
Rapid and Blitz, I would imagine.
yeah, yeah, rapid and blitz as well. We have blitz tomorrow.
Hmm. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm more excited in Rapid and Blitz section of this wing, but yeah. If I have to take a guess, I think based on the current form, it probably Nitish is the most favorite, also being the top seed.
Right.
But yeah, don't be fooled with the ratings that you see here. Rapid ratings are always less, but some of these people will definitely be having 4,400 at 2,400 in classical. So yeah, all the best again, and yeah, thanks for having me once again, Isha, and good
Yes.
luck to
Thank you. Thank you
you
so
and your
much for
team. Yeah.
joining me. Yes. Thank you.
All right, cheers and bye bye, bye everyone.
So that was FM Gahan. He joined us live from Poland and has shown his support for the tournament. We are going to continue looking at the games and let's see. So let's see what happened in Arjun Tiwari's game. So, right, this was the position, and here we were thinking that maybe queen takes e4 is the best way for black to continue. Objectively, you cannot hold on to the attack anymore since the king has started escaping. So that is what Pranav also realized, and he has made the right decision. A pawn up in the endgame is definitely close to winning, but of course, accuracy is always necessary. And now it's just matter of conversion, and he is doing that. Even though this looks, the rook looks almost trapped here, it cannot be captured. It cannot be trapped either. So black is trying to win the a4 pawn using the spin. Well, it looks like Pranav has the game under his control. So maybe we will see an upset as well on board 4 today. Let's go to the fifth board. Advait Ratnakar Vibhut, Vibhute versus Nikhil TL. He is having a better position. Um, Structurally, White seems to be doing good. I think this was the game where Roilopers happened. And right, instead of going for f4 here, unfortunately, White played knight f3. But still, he did get a decent position. Yeah, I think Black should have played a little more carefully. Taking on b3 before taking on d5 should have been done, because look at this bishop. This bishop has a lot of power right now. Why give it so much power, right? Well, outwardly I think it looks fine, but the uh, problem is the c5. If the c pawn was on c5, it would be more active. What about board number 3? Okay, so board number 3 already has a result, and Murali Krishnan BT has won the game. So since he was already a piece up, as we had analyzed before, he went on to win the game. A very complicated um, middle game was what it seemed, but from the opening itself, White has had started to fumble with finding a plan, and since he had made a structural error while isolating the pawns, it was soon going negatively for him, as he lost the pawn on c4 and soon followed up with the blunder, missing the horizontal attack on the knight, and it was a piece blunder which led to losing the game. So we already have two results in top 10 boards, but we will soon have more results coming, because a lot of the games have come to a decisive point. A lot of them are close to converting their games. For example, board number 2 and board number 4. Board number 5 also looks quite good for White, mainly because of the piece positions. Black has a little passive position and space, but otherwise, since most of the pieces are off the board, I think it's fine. But soon you will start to realize that the power of uh, the squares White is controlling is going to come into play. Mainly knight d4 controlling the c6 square. He is going to control the opponent's territory a lot, which will hinder movement for Black. So let's see what's happening in board number 6, Pankaj Bhatt versus Kishore. Right, so this was an edged off game, and Pankaj is not uh, doing great, as it seems like, because look at the pawn structure. Pankaj has two bishops against bishop and knight, but the bishop on f1 is kind of hitting his own pawns. So that, or just a second, I think I was not sharing the screen properly. My bad. But we have the board on line. Black does have a bit low on time, so hopefully he will not fumble in the end. Can White simply take on a5? The problem is, after rook takes a5, Black can simply take rook into b2, since the queen will be overloaded, supporting both b2 and a5. So he, with rook b8, which was Black's last move, he indirectly supported the a5 pawn. I think after which next move he can play rook to b4, stopping the queen from attacking the pawn, and then maybe some queen b8 and targeting the b pawn. Overall, it looks to be running smoothly for Black. This was Kishore as black against Pankaj Bhatt. And on 7th board, we have Rajat Ranjit. Wow, look at the queen on g6. It seems to be ready to deliver mate. So, what is happening? If Rajat does manage to win this game, he will be creating an upset. But the rating difference between him and his opponent is not that great. So, definitely, he is not much uh, less favorite than his opponent. Is bishop e8 coming now? If bishop e8, I think white will be forced to play queen to f5 so that the g pawn will not be losing its support. But what is happening? Did black play h5? Why did he play h5? Wasn't this hanging before itself? So let's go back a few moves. How did this happen? Right, so it is looking very decent here for black, but right, he is trying to find some interesting plan with bringing back the bishop. Okay, apparently this is not the best way to continue. So my question is, what should black do then? Maybe since he has the dark bishop where white is not having, so maybe bishop f6 with the idea of e5, e4, attacking the rook, or maybe get this c rook to e8 with the idea of e4 again. A lot of possibilities, which I think yes, black had a lot of good opportunities that he missed because the end position. So after f4, he kind of allowed um, g4 to be played. After which, pushing the e4 pawn, e5 pawn to e4 is not going to be easy. Either he has to do immediately, because if he plays bishop f6, queen to e4 will come. After which the e pawn cannot be moved. So I think before committing to f4, it was very crucial for him to go for the e4 break instead. Now these kinds of decisions are what someone might miss and lose their advantages, which is what actually happened. And right, I think black clearly misread the position because going for a kingside attack is not at all in play for him. He has to regroup his pieces. His pieces are not well placed. What is this bishop doing here? And what is this rook doing here? I mean, of course, it might look fine, but I definitely feel like center is the way where the play should go, not on the king side. Whenever you want to attack, you have to make sure that the center is closed, and here actually the center is not closed because black still has the opportunity to break. Now if you don't break, uh, you're going to give this whole diagonal for your opponent. Why do that? You also have a light square bishop, and just because you have given this diagonal, you'll not be able to counter it. So I think some small decisions were misjudged by black. Maybe even going for rook f6 with the idea of bishop e8 and bishop g6 would be fine. That is a little far-fetched though, because the bishop on g5 would be sitting very awkwardly. Okay, let's see what happened after h5. I guess he missed queen g6, or did he? Here he has played bishop to f6, clearly a blunder, but it shows heavy advantage for black. So what is happening? Well, the bishop move, well, if the bishop has to move anywhere, I think it's uh, pointless. Maybe queen to f2. Queen to f2 makes a lot of sense to me. Invading the opponent's territory and also attacking the bishop on e2. after which the rook will also be attacked. Since the bishop is hanging, I think queen to f2 makes sense. Even capturing on g4 looks good, but can he afford that? Can he afford a piece sacrifice? I definitely wouldn't go for that if it was my game, so that is why I do like queen to f2. Okay, let's see here. I guess yeah, this is looking really bad because now not only this bishop, this rook is also hanging here. Because of which I think in a few moves we will have a result on this is board number 7, Rajat Ranjit versus Dinesh Kumar. So Dinesh had such good opportunities, but I think he unfortunately fumbled a bit, and which resulted in a very good attack for the opponent. This is Ladmandar Pradeep versus Siva Adityan. Looking at his name itself, I can understand that he is from Tamil Nadu. So Siva has an open king. Well, not open because there is a pawn on g4, but he has g5 break possibility. But then again, even white's king is opened up, right? What is happening? I guess g5 is not a huge threat because after black captures, he has to capture with the pawn. After which the king again has some safety net. King f8, actually a very good move. This is removing the king from the open position, and he is ready to escape into safety. Whereas white's king is going to end up in a very precarious position. Black definitely seems to be in control, but the only problem will be time. He is going to be playing in seconds soon, which means accuracy might not be possible for him. On the ninth board, we have Tushar Agarwala against Christy George. Right, this was a game where Christy had a good, no, Tushar had a good advantage, but he lost his advantage by trying to force win. And now he is, I mean, the game is not over yet. Definitely not, because there are passers. It might be a race, but who is going to draw the last blood? I mean, this is a very interesting end game. I would love to sit and watch them conclude this game. It is very important to find good counterplay because both passers are coming straight to the promotion square. But at least black has the right bishop, right? Black has the right bishop eyeing the queening square. So white will need a lot of time to try to create a threat using the passed pawn. At the same time, he will have to look out for the opponent's pawn as well. So probably we'll see some rook a6, bishop b2, a3 moves. Maybe he'll play a3 immediately, and followed by rook a6. We'll see how it goes. Okay, third board and 10th board have concluded. On the first board, actually, Aditya, he is having a very low time, so he probably played one move with 1 second on the clock because it shows 31 seconds. And he is, I mean, it makes sense why he is struggling so much. Look at the king. The rooks have doubled up on the second rank, which means that it's going to be very difficult for him to thwart the threats. But he also has some interesting placement of the rooks. So one check on the last rank would lead to mate for black. So, but the problem is black has time. So whatever threats white throws on him, he can parry it easily. Black's king is not going to feel safe for anytime soon, because even if he plays a6, there will be b6. So that is the thing. Right. The only trouble was where to place the bishop, and he has found a square for the bishop. Since the knight is pinned, he cannot go for any discovered attacks. So to remove from the pin, the rook has moved. Okay, we have a result on second board as well. Vikramjit Singh was already winning with uh, two pawns ahead, and he has converted the game into a win. On fourth board, the higher rated was struggling, and the struggle still goes on. But white also does not have time, so result might come here as well very soon. On the fifth board, we have Advait versus Nikhil, and the last move was e5 break, for which queen to c6 was played. Okay, so the reason for the advantage might be that the open and semi-open files are in white's control. So I guess he will play rook to d4, not only removing himself from the attack, but also having some possibility of kingside attack. And I don't see a good way why black can thwart the attacks, because g5 will not be possible. Even if he plays h5, uh, some sacrifices will be possible for white. So we might see some interesting developments in this game very soon. Pankaj Bhatt was struggling a bit against Kishore, and Kishore is converting. So he did play rook to b4, but Pankaj has found an interesting idea to thwart the rook from the b4 square. Since black is already a pawn up, I don't think he'll mind losing the a5 pawn. So it is irrelevant for him at this stage. He might also try for to go for an exchange sacrifice with the rook to b8, let's say, and after bishop takes pawn, pawn takes bishop, after which the b3 pawn is going to be very strong, and the knight is going to be super strong, because now nothing can harm the knight anymore. That is one possibility. Also, after bishop takes pawn takes, the rook will have to let go of supporting the f3 pawn. So that is also there. But both of them have some time on the clock, so we are not sure how it's going to develop. It might take some time to get a decisive conclusion in this board. Let's look at Mandar Pradeep's game. So, well, black was ready to go, escape with the king, but suddenly he has switched tones. Some exchanges happened, like this, on center. Here, right, so the knight which was doing nothing on c3 was trying to be regrouped, and right, some exchanges have happened. Queen to d7, e7. Okay, I think I will take a very short break. I will be back in 5 minutes and resume the commentary. Until then, let's see the first board live because it is the rooks. One of the rooks have been exchanged. So and since white also does not have time, it will go very quickly. Is what I feel. Hello and thank you for watching. I am back from my break and currently we are watching Ladmandar Pradeep versus Sivadityan, and unfortunately, it looks like the higher rated is, well, I say unfortunate, but it depends on whose side you are rooting for because, of course, getting a win against the top seed is always a big thing for the players. So here, Ladmandar Pradeep is struggling against Mr. Siva Adityan, and Siva is already 2 pawns up and into a rook end game. If the queens get exchanged, of course, I think Ladmandar Pradeep does not have much options and has to exchange queens. He will be 2 pawns down, and probably the best thing he can hope for is a draw after that. Also, the f6 pawn will be looking very weak. So how did this happen? But I think we also have lots of other games to catch up to. Let's look at for the first board because already it was opposite color bishop, but with rook endgame. And look at the passivity of white's pieces. Now you can clearly understand why the eval bar is showing so much advantage for black. Right, I guess this is just a matter of technique and time. But Nitin Babu has already won the game. I don't think he is going to fumble after this. So, there have been quite a few results as well on board number 9. Christy George won the game. Black actually, right, the whole game White was trying to win the game, but like I said, once the pawns start rolling, it is going to be very very tricky, and that is what happened here. A discovery check followed by, okay, maybe he shouldn't have gone to a dark square because after rook a4 a discovery check would allow black to win the rook. So if he had gone, let's say, to d3 makes actually more sense to try to stop the pawn, but I don't think he can. So actually it's a very complicated position, but white had time, so why did he rush, especially in such positions? Rushing is not the answer. But of course, he has to find ways to stop the pawn. Actually, I think a simple way would be to get the knight. So, knight e3 is possible because the rook is pinned, and after this push, knight to c2, and he can stop the pawn from queening. But unfortunately, he played the king to dark square, for which the knight, it's going, whatever it's doing, it's pointless because the knight had to come to stop the pawn, and now it's too far away. So that is how he lost a game. Tushar lost against Christie, and this was the ninth board. On seventh board as well, we have a result. And look at that. What is happening here? The queen was sacrificed for a mate, and wow, from a completely winning position to a completely lost position. Did he blunder mate in one? Oh my god. From a completely winning position, White has blundered mate in one. Rajat is going to regret this game so much. I can just feel it because from well he definitely had to give another check, and after rook g7 back I think he could have. So what is happening here? What is the material count? White is a piece up, and he also is a pawn up. Everything is going the way he wants to. So I guess what can he do? He just has to support this pawn, and moving the bishop actually. Oh, moving the bishop is not enough because of queen into c3, after which it would be mate. It would be mate, but here actually queen to c3 there is queen to h8 check. Very complicated position. So how would he support the pawn on f3? There is also back rank checkmate possibility. Stakes right here would. I guess the only way. I'm not sure if it's the only move, but I do like knight to d2. So the idea is I'm supporting the f3 pawn, but there might be some. I'm sorry, not this position. So after yes, so right here I was thinking after check rook g7. Now knight to d2 would probably work because here I was thinking maybe there will be rook queen e1 check after queen takes rook takes. Now bishop f1, which would support the f3 pawn, and here white is completely fine. But what an upset. So, from a completely winning game to losing the game due to one move blunder. Well, it this is yes, as Gahan was telling earlier, few games, a few winning games will be lost when you try to rush in the end game, when you try to force the win instead of playing slowly and converting your advantage. Few games, like I said, I have done this myself a lot of times. Make one move blunders in completely winning games and just lose. So from you can see the eval bar, right? So from such a huge advantage to just missing mate in one. Well, a very sad loss for Rajat. Actually, on board number 6, we have a surprise result because Pankaj Bhatt was struggling quite a bit throughout the game, but here we can see that he has won his game. Let's see what happened. Uh, so Kishore was using lot of time to find accurate moves, but he still had good control over the position. But I guess in time pressure, mistakes are definitely possible. And here he has opened up the position. There are some back rank possibilities, but rooks have not come into the fray yet. So what happened here? Why is knight into e4 such a huge blunder? I mean, Black himself, Kishore himself went for the opening of the position. Maybe not the best because he has the knight against a double bishop. So playing slowly with the bishop to e3, maybe with the idea of queen f4 was probably good. Bishop e3 I like because getting inside the pawn structure, right? So that looks fine. And now, but why is this bad? Takes. So rook f1 is possible. Excuse me. I guess rook e1 is the move because the of the back rank, the knight is pinned. F5 is possible to support the knight, but okay, let's see. Rook f1 was played immediately. Queen e3. Now, was queen e3 a good move? I'm seeing some blundering possibilities. So after rook e1, if he plays knight f2 check, there is queen takes f2. I think this is how he blundered. Yes, after this it's an immediate loss. Wow. I think this round has seen a lot of blunders compared to any other rounds. Wow. From advantages to minus positions, from clearly winning to mate in ones. This round has seen it all now. Wow. Okay, so board number 8 of Ledmander Pradeep. Well, what a conversion. Just a few moves back, we saw, just a few minutes back, we saw 2 pawns advantage for black, but now the activity of white's rooks have shown their power by completely winning. I mean, it's not winning, it is still equality. But Latmander Pradeep is showing very good understanding of endgame, and he has not taken the h5 pawn, clearly judging that going for the queenside pawn, at least for equality, is very much necessary. So even though he is 1 pawn down here, he has the active pieces and active rook. So if we ignore all the pawns on the queen side, this is actually a draw, because theory says that these pawns on the h and f file can be holdable for the defensive side. Of course, it's practically very difficult, but this is true. So uh, obviously, with the rating of 2392, close to becoming an international master, Ladmander Pradeep should know his theory. But yes, it is going to be an exciting end game to follow. So after we have results on the top boards as well. Aditya has lost his game, because we can see the good, very beautiful conversion from Nitin Babu. He has brought his king into the uh, king into the territory of white. And Vikramjit, I think he had already won the game. So he was 2 pawns up already. So he has cleanly converted. On fourth board, Arjun Tiwari did go on to lose the game. He was losing from the beginning, because he had a passive position. Also, he was a pawn down, and Pranav has cleanly converted the game in the rook end game. So usually rook end games are not so easy, but he has showed good technique to convert his advantage. So rook and 2 pawns, 2 pawns against. Right now, it's completely winning, and it was just matter of technique. A beautiful end game class shown by Pranav. So on the fifth board, we have Advait versus Nikhil. We have an exchange round situation. What happened? Let's just go back. Where did the exchange? Right. I'm not right. This was the position, and this is what I said. After rook d4, we have also a kingside attack possibility, and after which it is going to be very difficult for black to hold the game. White, Advait just went all in with the attack, and now queen to c7, I guess. Yes. Okay, this is looking tricky, but I guess simple knight f7 also works. No need to go for queen h7 tactics and all. A very clean conversion, because here queen into f7 would run into rook e7, pinning the queen. So it was. Now white is a pawn up, and look at the pieces. He is completely suffocating black's king. And this is how he won the exchange. And after winning so much material, it is going to be fairly easy. And that is how he has. Well, he still hasn't won the game yet, but it is just matter of time. So I guess with this we already have almost all of the games concluding, except for board number 8, where it is going into a very interesting rook end game. It is okay. So black has managed to lose the pawn so early on, with the rook still being stuck on a8. Definitely not good technique shown by Siva. So what happened? Why, how did the king get to f3 without black making any progress? Like, he did move some pawns, but come on, you had to get this rook into active state. Okay, at least now maybe rook to c8 was necessary. Give up the a7 pawn so that you get a check and you focus on your own passes. So in the endgame, rook endgame especially, it is very much necessary to focus on your own passers instead of entertaining your opponent's passers. It is still equality, of course, because um, even if black loses one pawn, it is still equal in material. But um, black spawns, and black is already very passive, so he has to, I guess, after rook into f4, black's rook will finally find some breathing space. Latmanar Pradeep is thinking, he clearly wants to win the game, so he is weighing all the possibilities. Can he take the pawn and risk the rook getting active? He did go for the rook into pawn move. Black to play, will he play h3? H3 looks like a very good move, stalling the rook from coming into play. Rook a4 is a very interesting move for black here. Attacking black's a7 pawn, also supporting the a3 pawn. Hmm. But now I think they can almost shake their hands, because black is going to win the a3 pawn, after which it is going to be a draw. Yes, hands were shaken. It has become a draw. Okay, I think with this, all the games in top 10 boards have concluded. It has been a very exciting matchup. Uh, a lot of interesting games took place, a lot of upsets, and lots of missed chances as well. So, a very exciting game today. But in the afternoon, we will have a special rapid match going on. There will be a rapid tournament. It will be the 24th RCC International Federated Rapid Cup. And it is definitely going to be very exciting to follow the games, because it will be, I think the time control is, let me check. So the rapid tournament has time control of 10 minutes plus 5 seconds. So definitely a very faster pace compared to these classical ones. And I will be commentating on the games as well. So stay tuned, and we will resume commentary in 1 hour, I guess, as soon as the rapid games start. Well, thank you for watching, everybody, and this has been very fun. And do join in the afternoon